Queen Essence Empire. Discover your beauty within. Hey glam babes, we are back with another tutorial. I am working on a live client today, and I did skip the prep process, and I also didn't record me gluing on her nail tips either, because I did this right when I got off of work, so I really didn't have my camera set up and things for that part. So we're gonna jump right into the application today. Did y'all see my new intro? Yes, baby, I redid my intro because G Tips Beauty, we are still G Tips Beauty when we have our nail salon, but for our YouTube videos and for our everything nails and our products, baby, we are Queen Essence Empire, because we are not doing just nails here, baby. We are running an empire. We have services, we have products, we have educational videos. Soon we're gonna start having classes. We'll start doing Zoom look and learn classes where you guys can actually work with me with your supplies and I can get my supplies and we can actually work together, y'all. So I'm so super excited for what's to come. But yeah, I did change the intro, so I'm pretty excited about that. And oh my goodness, I am up to 30 subscribers, y'all. That makes me so happy. So hey, all 30 of my subscribers, I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. And for the people that are viewing this video and who have not subscribed just yet, I hope that this video brings you joy enough to the point where that you want to subscribe, you want to follow, and you want to share with all of your friends, and you want them to see what you've been working on. You want them to see who you have been studying to help you perfect your craft. And I hope you stay a while. I hope you stick around. Take your jacket off, leave your purse, and stick around a little bit. Get your products and your materials, and y'all, let's get to work. Okay, so I'm using my Mia Secret beige powder, acrylic powder. I love it. I love Mia Secret powder. It floats so easily. It's a beginner powder for those who are looking to first start off, but even a lot of pros still use like the beginner powders because they are so easy to work with. There's literally no reason to get powders that are hard to work with just because you're a professional. Like, no, don't torture yourself. Get what you know and stick with it and make it work. And look, this application is coming out flawless because I have worked with this product for years. When I was a beginner in school, when I elevated, when I got my license, when I started taking clients after that, I literally had been using this cover powder and the other colors that Mia Secret has for their cover powders, and it works for me. So definitely get what works for you and stick with it. Like, you can try different brands and things like that, but you want to find something that flows for you. You want to find something that works for you, works for your clients, and once it flows like butter, just go ahead and stick with it and move on. You do not want application taking all freaking day. You don't want to be sitting there stumbling with your product, because the minute you are stumbling with your product, you look unconfident. And the minute you look unconfident is the minute your client is going to look at you and say, I'm going to go somewhere else, or I don't like these. It's going to be all types of issues. Don't even set yourself up for failure, honey. Absolutely not. Y'all, this application is literally coming out perfect. Like, I was so proud of myself. I had just got off of work because I still work my day job while I'm running my business. So I had just got off of work. I was kind of tired. We were kind of like one bead methoding it and sealing up that cuticle with that cuticle bead, and it was coming out good. I was floating through that acrylic, and this is what I want you guys to be like when you're watching these videos and you're practicing along and you're listening to me ramble about nails and tips and different things like that. I want you guys to be able to do your 1 bead method, or do your 3 bead method, do your 2 bead method, whatever works for you. Do your 5 bead method. Like, it's okay. Whatever you're at, be there and practice it, but learn how to apply your application. It's gonna save you so much time. Like, do y'all see these from the side? We've got an apex here. She's not going super long, so we don't need a super huge apex, but like, everything is going so good to the point where when we start filing, we are not going to have to do that much work at all. So learn your products, get good with your application, get good with your brush, get good with your liquid to powder ratio, so that when you lay your application, it can be just as flawless. I want that for you guys. A few basic tips that I have for your nail application. For one, my beginners, always practice your liquid to powder ratio. That's going to allow you to find the best liquid to powder ratio that works for you, works for your level of professionalism and your skills. You can always use your 3-bead method, starting at the free edge for the first bead. Do your first bead for length, your middle bead towards the center, kind of going to be your apex bead, and then you can do your final third bead at the cuticle area to do a nice small bead at the cuticle. Water beads around the cuticle for more control, less flooding. Point the nail down, allow gravity to do what it's going to do when your acrylic is flowing, and just point the nail down. It's going to do what it needs to do. Point the nail down, pat in your side walls. That's going to allow you to maintain the desired shape that you want, because of course all my glam babes know who have been watching our nail tutorials. When you apply those tips, we went ahead and we cut those tips. We went ahead and cut those tips, and we filed them, and we pre-shaped those tips so that we are able to go ahead and just lay that acrylic and tap our sidewalls in and maintain the shape that we want to keep. Now, another tip that I have is to pat your sidewalls in as that acrylic is flowing down. This is going to allow you to keep the shape that you want. It's not going to have that acrylic spilling all over the sides, and it's also going to make for less time needing to be spent doing the filing, because there's not a bunch of extra acrylic just pouring all over the sides. Notice how super easy it is for me to file these nails right now. And this is not even one of these super good files that you get from like the nail supply store. Like, no, this is a file that I got from Walmart because I had to just run and grab something because I didn't want to feel like traveling 2 cities over just to go to the nail supply store. Like, no, these are just like a probably 180 grit file. Like, it's not the good 100. Like, it might not even be 180. Like, it might be higher than that. Like, it does not matter when you do good application. When you do good application, you can work with any bit, any file, any buffer, do any kind of artwork that you need to get the end result when that application is what it needs to be. Now, I did go out of the frame a little bit, but as always, when this is in the video, I encourage you to pay attention to what you're doing. I encourage you to pull up your products or your file that you want to practice shaping with, or pull up your nail tip that you want to practice application with. And I do encourage you all to practice along, because that's going to be the best way that you can really learn and perfect the craft that you're working on. Like, truly, that's the only way to really get good at doing nails, is to practice. That's the only way to thoroughly get good at anything that you really want to do in life. You're going to be faced with things that are hard or challenging, or you have different conflicts, different temperatures, a lot of different things that'll play a part in you doing things. But you have to be so skilled and so knowledgeable, and you have to practice what it is that you're doing, so even when you are faced with different challenges, you can still push through, because you are just that confident and that skilled in what it is that you're doing. So I do encourage you guys to continue to practice. Yes, like these videos, watch these videos, but I more so want to encourage you all to pull up the video while you're practicing and practice along. If there's questions that you may have, please, comment them so that we can go over those questions in the next video, or that I can maybe message you on like Instagram or something, and we can, do like one-on-ones. But I do encourage you guys to watch these videos while you're practicing, so that way we can practice together. We can work on this together. So now I am sealing the cuticles with my 5-in-1 Pana Carbide bit. This allows me to seal the cuticles. I kind of like squeeze the sidewalls. I squeeze the skin back a little bit so that it can reveal any acrylic that may have gotten kind of like under where that live skin is. That happens sometimes. And you can even take your cuticle pusher and push the cuticles back again before sealing the cuticles, just to expose any acrylic that may have ran over. But right now I am sealing the cuticle, and I'm also filing the surface of the nail as well. And this is going to allow me to make sure that the surface is nice and smooth, preparing for our nail art. I'm also going in and kind of taking away any apex that's too high, because there is a thing that's having too high of an apex, so when they hit the nail it's gonna hurt, kind of like if it's too thick. So I'm also going in and removing like any apex that I think is just too high for the length of the nail, making them nice and smooth. So that way when we go in with the sanding bed and then we go in with the buffer, it's not painful, it's not a lot of elbow grease, because we are taking this carbide bit and we are using it. We're not scared. We practice how to use our e-file. We practice different safety speeds. We practice different speeds around our cuticle versus speeds around the free edge versus using speeds that are not so high that it'll take away all the acrylic. So you definitely want to practice those speeds. Cuticle, I'm really like about somewhere between 3 and 6 RPM at the most. If I have no product on the nail, I'm ranging at about 3 to 5 with a ceramic bit. If I do have product on the nail, then we can go a little higher, maybe to a 6 or a 7 because it's product on the nail, but I'm still not going at such an RPM that's so high that it's causing burns or heat or creating indentions or just removing all the product that I just put on the nail. So you definitely want to be mindful of the speed that your e-file is going at as well. Now, your sanding band to me is like the holy grail, and I'm going to tell you why. Because your sanding band, it's going to allow you to file the nails. You can file the surface. You can kind of seal the cuticle a little bit. You can get up under the nail to clean up any acrylic that may have been spilling over the sidewalls. Like, you can do so much with your sanding band. You can control where it goes. You can control the speed. And then because your sanding band is like a file, it loses its grit over time, right? So as you're using it, it's not going to be as sharp as it was. So you really don't have to worry about your sanding band taking off a chunk of acrylic unless you just got your RPM way too higher than it needs to be. Like, your sanding band, it's kind of like the holy grail for me, honestly, especially if your application is like super smooth. You're already good with your application. When you go in with your sanding band, like, everything is just going to fall into place at that point. Everything just becomes more crispy. It becomes more smooth, and it's like the chef kisses almost. Like, I love them. Now, for my people who don't know, or my people who were never told this before, don't use the same sanding band on different clients. Sanding bands cannot be cleaned and disinfected. I don't care if the file says it's washable. I truly does not care. Throw it in the trash. Don't use it on the same client. You do not want any type of cases where you're spreading any nail diseases, or clients who have disorders or infections are not being treated properly. So, I'm going to say this again. Do not reuse disposable items, orange wood sticks, buffers, files, sanding beds, all of that stuff, paper towels, monomer. Don't even reuse the monomer. Don't reuse the acetone. Like, none of that. Trash it and start fresh with every client. A super cool trick that I learned and I've been doing with all of my clients is I buff the nail with cuticle oil on it. This leaves the nail more smooth, it's more shiny, and I noticed that it doesn't leave scratches in the nail, like all those scratches when you're filing and buffing. It's none of that anymore. It's just like a smooth, super shiny nail. Like, look at this. This looks so good, right? And I also learned that it helps hydrate the cuticles even more when you go ahead and put that cuticle on there while you're buffing it. Like, it's just an extra level of hydration and sealing in moisture for the client's hands. I've also seen people put the cuticle oil around the hand on like the eponychium and on around like the cuticle area, and then they'll take like their softest cuticle bit and use that to remove any acrylic that may still be there or any dust that may still be there. Like, it's like the finishing touch. Like, this is like the finish, the gloss before the top coat. This is like if you were leaving it raw like this would be the finishing touch, and it looks so good. Like, look at these nails. Like, and I just so adored this client. Like, her hand tattoo, the nail set she chose, like, everything it was so pretty. Now, I hate that it was so late at night. There were certain parts of this that I didn't get. Like, I don't think I got much of the nail art. We'll see. I am going in and just filing my free edge to make sure it's nice and crispy like I like it. But no, I just super adored this client. I super adored how her nail beds were, how calm of a client she was. She didn't, nitpick about anything. She was solely, this is the idea that I want, do your thing. She was relaxed. Her hand poses at the end, like she knew what she was here for. And this was a 5-star client, honey. Like she knew what it was, and I was here for it. So I appreciate clients like that. Now I'm just buffing it, making it nice and smooth. Like I said, you definitely do want to buff the nail because this is going to be your final, this is like your last chance to make sure it's not bumpy, it's not lumpy. And oh my gosh, y'all, if they're wanting nail art and you're doing gel, or if you're doing any type of gel anything on a lumpy nail, your gel polish is going to tell on you. Oh my gosh, it's going to tell on you. Your gel polish is going to reveal dents that you didn't know you had. Now, a trick to combat that is to float your top coat. A lot of top coats are thick and they kind of resemble like a builder gel or gel in the bottle. If that's the type of top coat that you have, go ahead and kind of just float it on top, and the spaces that have little extra dents, fill it in with a little more top coat. That's just going to act like a hard gel that you can use, or a soft gel, just to fill in those kind of dents and tricks. And that's my little secret to you guys, to make sure that you have flawless nails. Even if your application is not there, you missed the spot, whatever, float your top coat, honey. That's going to save you. That's going to make it appealing to the beautiful public eye. And that's going to have people not calling you out on Facebook like, y'all, look at what this nail tech did to me. Y'all know people love to do that right now. Like, that's people's thing. Well, honey, I don't want you talking about me. So let me write down my tips and tricks, because you ain't going to be tricking on me, honey. All right, so now I'm going in just with some finishing touches, just removing any acrylic that may have kind of spilled over to the side walls as I was doing the nails, and anything that I might have missed that I'm going back and just removing or double checking, just in case, we don't, like I said, we don't want anyone calling saying we have any lifting. We don't have anyone calling saying, my cuticles are flooded, this is all over the sides, this acrylic is messy. Like, we don't want any of those problems. I don't want those problems in my career. I don't want you to have those problems in your career. So I do recommend, once everything is complete, before you tell your client to go wash your hands, even if there's nothing that you can find that'll make that set better. And no, I'm not saying you have to be a perfectionist. No, your client doesn't have to be sitting in your chair for 6 hours because you're moving with a magnifying glass trying to find every little thing that's wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, before you send your client to the sink, you take a couple seconds to overlook the nails and think about it from, I like to think about it from my client's best friend's point of view. And I'm going to tell you why. Because your best friend is going to tell you everything, whether you wanted to hear it or not. So when you think about things from your best friend's point of view, you could think that dress is so pretty, or you could be like, I kind of like it, I kind of don't, I'm unsure. Let me call my friend and see. Baby, your friend is going to tell you the truth. The hardcore truth. Okay? So look at your nails from your client's best friend's point of view and think like, would they be on FaceTime gossiping about this set? Or would they be raving over how beautiful it is? You see what I'm saying? So before you're sending your clients to the sink, before you're applying the top coat, before you're finishing it up, definitely double check those nails. Go back, look at everything, make them nice and crispy. All the things people complain about. They not crispy, they not smooth, they ain't lifting. Whatever people complain about, go ahead and double check that, just to make sure that when they drop in who does that, you be like, not me. I don't do that. My nails don't lift. My acrylic don't spill over to the side, so I don't know what y'all talking about. You see what I'm saying? You can hit them with another. Maybe she do, but I'm not the 1, 2, or 3 who do that. Maybe they do, but not me. You see what I'm saying? So when you add these last few steps before you apply your top coat, go ahead and take a couple seconds to just review everything. Because I mean, you don't have to worry about your client like, oh man, she's taking too long, because you're done with the set. You are done with the set. At this point, if I want you to sit another 10 minutes, you gonna be all right, because you done. But this is going to allow me to double check my work and make sure that you're leaving here with the best work that I can provide, because I'm going to charge you. I'm going to charge that card on file. And I want to be able to let my work explain why I charged you what I charged you. Now, like I said, I'm just filing the surface, doing just a couple extra to make sure that there's nothing that could make my client feel like she doesn't want to return. Because at the end of the day, things happen, nails lift, nails break, polish chips, things happen, right? But you don't want your client to say, I'm not going to return to her. That's what you don't want. So now I'm going in with my top coat. I'm making sure that the nail art is covered and sealed properly to ensure that it doesn't chip in a few weeks. You can also cap the sides and the top to ensure that the top coat literally covers all of the nail art, right? Because the polish can start to chip from the sides, or it can start chipping from the free edge. So you definitely want to make sure you clear cap that part. Sometimes if you put that gel polish on too thick, you will kind of lose your shape. So I do recommend just swiping the sides or swiping this free edge with your finger. That's just going to allow that polish to not literally sit on the edge. It'll sit on top of it to do what it's supposed to and clear cap the nail art or add the shine or the protection to the nail, but it's not going to be sitting on top of the side to a point where it's acting as a soft gel like we're sculpting a bigger nail, because that's not what we're trying to do. So you definitely want to be careful with your top coat. Now, if you got bumps and dips, you can go in with a thicker layer of top coat, or three layers of top coat if you need to, honey. If you got to fake it till you make it, then baby, you better fake it till you make it, because you don't want these people broadcasting you, canceling you, or ruining your reputation, honey. Do what you need to do to make sure that that nail looks good, okay? And then go home and practice. Yeah, and then go home and practice. But y'all, these nails, they came out so super cute. I had been doing free nail art all summer because it's something that I had been just wanting to work on. It's a skill that I just felt like I wasn't as strong in as I wanted to be. So then I had been doing this special all summer with free nail art. And now I feel like since I've practiced it, I've invested in new nail brushes, better gel polish, a lot of different things to take that skill to the next level. So I feel like I probably won't be doing free nail art anymore, but I do appreciate all the clients who gave me that chance to practice and booked that free nail art and let me kind of explore and see what I could do, what I needed to work on. I do truly appreciate that. So if you're watching this video, please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on the post notifications so you can never miss a beat. And yeah, this is the end of the nail set. It came out so cute, y'all, and I was on my high horse doing this after work. Baby, you can't tell me I'm not going to be successful, and that's how I want you guys to feel about it. These people can't tell you that you're not going to be successful out here, honey. Look, and now I'm wiping off the inhibition layer, that just sticky kind of tacky layer. Yes, I'm using this baby washcloth. Leave me alone. I do not care at this moment, hunty. We got these nails done and they look so good. So yeah, y'all, make sure y'all like this video, share it with your homegirls so they can learn how to do nails too. Subscribe and come back for the next video. Bye.